What is up, rockers? Welcome back here to another Rise of Kingdoms content. Today, as you guys have read in the title, we are going to talk about the Cavalry Guide 2022 investment. So we're going to try to separate this as free-to-play and as well as spenders. And like, again, with our previous video, if you have seen our Archer Guide 2022 and as well as the Infantry Guide 2022, we are making sure that we are talking about the moderate spenders in here and not the whales, because the whales or the kraken can just definitely max everything out. Today we're going to try to help you save your sculptures on investing into cavalry commanders. Now, if you guys are also wondering how you can get more legendary commander sculpture, make sure to watch this video as well on 20 plus ways to get legendary commander sculptures in Rise of Kingdoms. There are so many ways to get legendary sculptures now in ROK. It's almost unlimited, and you can definitely get a max commander if you put some time and effort into the game. If you guys are also new to the channel, don't hesitate to subscribe, turn your notifications on. If you like this video, press a thumbs up and share the video as well. So by the way, guys, as you guys are watching this, I am probably in the Philippines, all right? So today we're going to talk about the free-to-play guide first. Now, of course, Caocao is a commander that you can also obtain as a free-to-play. If I remember, Caocao has a Wheel of Fortune. So for cavalry players, you can definitely try to obtain Caocao. I'm not sure if they removed it, but I think there is. Caocao is not only available from Wheel, if I remember it correctly, and as well as also available in the tavern. This is the very first commander that you are going to be investing as a free-to-play player. I do recommend getting Caocao because in the long run, Caocao does have some benefit. In my previous video, I kind of didn't talk about the museum buff, but you got to make sure to take a look into the museum buff as well, because Caocao has a museum buff that gives you 20% plus health and 200 active damage factor. Now, Minamoto no Yoshitsune, we cannot even consider that for free-to-play because you have to make a purchase to obtain Minamoto. Caocao is a great free-to-play commander, legendary to obtain right away in the first season. This will be really useful even at the late stages of the game. I still use Caocao. I actually use a Nevsky Caocao so that I can chase down on enemies. Or sometimes I'll do a Caocao Nevsky depending on the situation that I want, because Caocao has an ability to slow down the enemy. And this is really great for free-to-plays who wants to hunt farmers or who wants to hunt retreaters. This is going to be an easy killer that you can use in the battlefield. Caocao is really amazing. I love it. This is also a peacekeeping commander. You can add into your arsenal when you're defeating barbarians. Keep in mind that whenever you use Caocao to run rallies, you have to be the one running the rallies. With the trophy hunter, you're going to be able to get a lot of resources. Just for example, I have about 2.2 million resources packs in here. So the next commander that we're going to talk about here is Saladin. I would recommend for you to do a 5551 on Saladin. You can get to save a lot of sculpture going to the next commander. Now, the reason why you do 5551 Saladin, because these skills are really good, because this skill is really for attacking cities, and it's not really worth it for you to put sculptures in here to max this out, even though you are going to improve the skill here with the expertise. For Saladin, a 5551 is already sufficient. And we kind of skip here with Genghis Khan. For free-to-play, I don't really recommend for you to get Genghis Khan. If you really want to, yes, but it's not into my recommendation because you can invest on other future commanders instead of investing to Genghis Khan. You can definitely beef up your setup, all right? So Genghis Khan, you can skip it. If you really want Genghis Khan, then I can't really stop you from it. It is a very high nuking damage, lower rage requirement, and you gain rage as well, but not really a priority for free-to-play. Rather, invest on the Saladin 5551. And then the next commander that I would recommend is William. William is a commander that, oh my god, I fought a free-to-play before where it was a 5551 Saladin, and I think even it's a 5551 William. I think we have a video for it. You might have to search for it. I still kind of like got beaten up there pretty good. I did win the battle, but it hurt a lot. So even with the William not maxed out when I battled it, it hurts a lot. So William, though, I would recommend for you to max William. This is going to give you a expertise skill while on the map. All commanded cavalry units Attack increased by 30%. And normal attacks have 10% chance to inflict direct damage to the target with a damage factor of 1000. William is a worth it commander for Cavalry. This is a must to get. You can definitely do a 5551 Saladin and a William max. Then I would run it as a William Saladin, and that would definitely be a deadly combination in the battlefield. Now, another commander that is going to be coming out after that is Xiang. Now, as you guys see, I have Xiang unlocked in here. Xiang is definitely one of the best commanders as well in Cavalry and has a late game purpose in here. Now, as you can see, we're jumping around in here. As a free-to-play, when you watch a 20-plus video on how to get Legendary Commander Sculpture, you will definitely have a time frame in here that you're going to be able to max these commanders, because it's not like it's going to come out the next day. There is a period of time where the game or the system is going to release archers, infantry, leadership commanders. So during that time, if you're a full cavalry setup, you are supposed to bank your sculptures during those period of time and work on commanders one by one. All right, so the next commander that I would recommend for you guys is to get Xiang. Xiang deals an insane amount of damage, defense reduction, great mobility in the battlefield. Now, although this is a conquering commander, it has really good viability or good approach towards to the open field as well. So for free-to-play, you're typically not going to be rallying, but Xiang ability in the open field is really good. Now, we've kind of skipped a few ones in here like Chandragupta. I mean, Chandra is good, but I think as a free-to-play, your limitation on investing into commanders is going to be a little bit more limited, right? So you got to pick what's the best of the best to invest. I don't think Chandra would be better than Xiang or William. So by skipping Chandra, you're going to be able to invest into Xiang and William and try to max it out. Now, if you do have an excess of, universal sculptures, then I would say, yeah, you can and then invest on Chandragupta. Now, there is two more commanders in here that we're going to talk about. Now, there are also commanders in here that we're going to talk about like Attila and Takeda. These commanders, they're really good as well. I mean, I would definitely recommend Attila and Takeda to free-to-play as well. But here's the kicker for this. Attila and Takeda is okay in the field, but if you do rally this, if let's say you're playing a free-to-play approach and you migrate, to a lower kingdom eventually, let's say you are from the Season Conquest and you go down to a brand new Season of Conquest, then you can definitely use this approach and rally players because they're going to be weaker. As a free-to-play, you definitely have an edge because you are an older free-to-play player. Then investing in Attila and Takeda is worth it in that sense. There are many free-to-plays that invest in Attila and Takeda that I've seen now too that have grown their account, have improved their gears as well, that can actually defeat or burn cities in here. It doesn't necessarily that you're going to be the strongest one, but you can actually do things with Attila and Takeda combination because this combo is really good. So being a free-to-play, this is, I would categorize as an optional approach if you want to do an Attila and Takeda. Remember, free-to-play players, your amount of sculptures is limited. Let's focus on to the best ones that are going to give you the best bang for the buck. For free-to-play, Bertrand, I wouldn't really recommend this for you guys. Bertrand kind of got outdated anyway, very quickly. Don't really recommend it, especially if you're investing in Conquering Commander, except for Attila. Investing on Conquering Commander has less value than investing into a Garrison Commander. So we're not even going to kind of talk about Bertrand in here, but I want to talk about Jadwiga in here. Jadwiga is the only Garrison Commander for Cavalry, all right? So if you are a Cav person, well, of course, Pelagius, but if you're a Cav person and you want to protect your base, then get Jadwiga, all right? It's a free-to-play. It's not necessary because you can avoid a lot of things as a free-to-play. You don't have to be in the front lines and take a rally. Teleport out, shield. But if your playing style is that you want to have a Garrison Commander, then you should get Jadwiga. Jadwiga is really good, and I feel like it is not quite utilized in the game very much. I've looked at the skills of Jadwiga. I really like it. I wish I have the money enough to spend on getting Jadwiga to showcase how awesome this commander is. But players typically like to rely on the infantry defense, which has been quite reliable as well. But I've seen defense before with Jadwiga that actually did quite an amazing job. Jadwiga against archers will definitely be amazing. But I would only recommend Jadwiga if you want to defend your base. And if not, then there's no point. Save your sculpture to the next commander that is going to be released in the future. Alright guys, so now let's talk about spenders. Now, for the spenders, I would definitely direct you to Minamoto. This is also called Manimoto. This commander is really good. And as I mentioned earlier, in the free-to-play approach, there is going to be a museum, which Minamoto will definitely be a good investment for you. You are going to be buying Minamoto through the VIP, so if you have the chance to do it as a spender, I would definitely get Minamoto, and you will get, once you've unlocked Museum buff, you will get 20% Cavalry defense and 25% Cavalry attack. That is a pretty high increase of damage towards Minamoto. And as you guys know, Minamoto is definitely a killer commander in Rise of Kingdoms. So the first thing, definitely get Minamoto. Second thing, I would recommend for you to get Caocao as well, because this is going to help you in the early stages of the KVK. You're going to also be able to chase players with this, and you're going to have a lot of advantage, especially if you're spending. You can definitely rack up onto your gear and get that mobility gear right away, ahead of everybody as well, and you can definitely whack them with using a fast-moving cavalry units. Now, Genghis Khan, this is a commander that I would say, I'm not going to tell you that don't invest on Genghis Khan, because Genghis Khan has this, perks. In the early KVK, if you're a spender, you can definitely divert and get Genghis Khan. By getting Genghis Khan, it will allow you to really hit hard in rallies. All right, this is gonna give you some edge, especially if you're trying to rally some of those KVK holy sites as well. Now, during my time frame, players did use Genghis Khan. And what players have even done is do a Genghis Khan and YSG combination. Or you can do a Genghis Khan Minamoto combination as well. Genghis Khan has a great ability to hit hard and lower requirement on rage, and as well as fast mobility in the open field. So investing in Genghis Khan as a spender is not a bad idea. Just keep in mind that Genghis Khan in the late stages of the game kind of deteriorates, and nobody really uses a lot of Genghis Khan anymore. So getting Genghis Khan is optional. I'm not going to tell you that you should definitely 100% get Genghis Khan and max him out. But if you have the extra sculptures, then definitely try to obtain Genghis Khan, because you can make use of it for that short duration of time, especially if you're in crunch and you need to win that KVK. Now, once Attila and Takeda is released, this is, oh my god, I hated Attila and Takeda when they were first out. Before the nerf, Attila and Takeda was absolutely undefeated. Now, there is a way to counter Attila and Takeda. If you do a Wu and Constantine full infantry, you can definitely counter Attila and Takeda in this sense. Now, as a cavalry setup, you are going to invest in a great conquering commander. This is it. This is the ultimate conquering commander, in my opinion, that will last for several KVK. Attila and Takeda, you should definitely get this and max it out, and you will be quite unstoppable, because not a lot of players will be able to defend against this. And you can also enjoy rallying cities. Now, one part of my gaming career here is that I regret not investing in Attila and Takeda, because I missed out on so many potential amazing rallies that I could have done if I had invested in this cavalry unit. This Attila and Takeda, I wish I did. So don't make the same mistake as I did. If you're a full Cavs, get Attila and Takeda. You are spending money into the game already. Spend it to enjoy it. Get this commander. Now, Saladin will be a great commander as well for your arsenal. Now, I would still recommend, if you're doing Saladin, same information with the free-to-play. Don't max it out. Don't waste on maxing it out. Just do 5-5-5-1. And that would already be a great open field fighter. You don't need Saladin to rally base, rally city. You don't need it. You'll get Attila and Takeda, Saladin, open field, 5-5-5-1. Great already. Now, the next commander that I would recommend is William. Once William is released, max it out. Great, amazing damage. You know, the stacks in here is good as well. So getting that William will definitely boost you guys in the battlefield. You can do a Xiang Yu and William, so make sure to get Xiang Yu as well. Xiang Yu and William combination is quite deadly. Now, when you don't have Xiang Yu yet, you can definitely do a William and Saladin combination. But once you get Xiang Yu and William, this is a very deadly combination, and we've seen this many rallies that can definitely knock out cities and knock out as well flags in fortress as well. All right, now Commander Chandragupta. As a spender, you can invest in Chandra, but I'm really not a big fan of this. Maybe somebody in the comment can kind of like move me towards to this, but I've never really seen like the biggest value for Chandra. And I've kind of mentioned to the free-to-play guide that you can invest on this if you have extra, but honestly, if you can avoid it, I would just avoid it. For Bertrand, we never really saw it. I feel like he got outdated too quickly with the other conquering commanders. So not a lot of players will really utilize you with your Bertrand. But the Jadwiga, though, since this is the only garrison commander that you can really have in the cavalry section, I would say invest on this because you have a lot of cavalry in your city. And by investing on Jadwiga, you can protect your troops with this. Not a lot of people use Jadwiga onto the defense, but if you're facing a highly archer rallies, a kingdom that dishes out a lot of archer rallies, I would say sending out a Jadwiga as a garrison commander will definitely be a big impact for your setup in here. Now, one more thing that I want to say, Jadwiga doesn't really have an amazing pair, but there's other pairs that you can do that are like leadership. People have done Jadwiga YSS. You can do other commanders as well that you can pair with Jadwiga. You can even do like a Takeda and Jadwiga there. But in the future, I can definitely see Lilith releasing another garrison commander that can definitely pair with Jadwiga. So an investment for Jadwiga now might be a very fruitful investment later on once another garrison commander has been released for the cavalry commanders. With that being said, guys, we've created a guide here for you to be successful in Rise of Kingdoms, Cavalry Guide Investment 2022. Hopefully, this is very helpful to kind of navigate you to where you're going to be investing. With that being said, rockers, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully, if you're new, you have not subscribed yet, don't forget to hit subscribe and like the video. I'll see you guys again next time.